Okay, hey YouTubers, this is Cape here with one of your videos. I got a haircut, so my hair's a little bit shorter, but I'm gonna go ahead and get down on my knees here to show you. This is disassembling an AR-15. This particular one is a 5.56/223. I got it. It's a Smith & Wesson. It's made in the USA. It's got rear pop-up sights. This is windage. This is elevation. The front one's elevation. It's got a 6-setting adjustable rear stock. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to take it apart now. Okay. Let me get a little closer. Okay, if you see this pin right here, if you flip it over, it'll be the pin right here. Or no, right there. Okay, go ahead and press that through. You don't need any tools or anything. You might need a pair of needle nose pliers or something here in the soon future. This will pop up. If you want to separate the upper from the lower, you will see a pin that goes all the way through here. Take a little bit of force, but you gotta press that one through, which I'm going to take apart for you guys. A little bit, like I said again, a little bit of force, but once you get it out to a certain bit, you can just kind of like pull it right out. Then they'll separate like this. Okay, now for the next part, make sure you got your hammer cocked back. These pins do not come all the way out. They stop themselves. Okay, you'll see this spring right here. There's a black rod. You just press that rod in. It's spring powered as well. You just press that rod in. This will come out. Keep these together so that you don't lose them. Set them off to the side. Okay. Now you're pretty much done with your lower unless you're changing the innards, which would be all that stuff down in there. But I'm just gonna go ahead and flip that over and put it on safe right now. We're done with the lower. That's the lower receiver. Okay. Now to the upper. To get all this out, all you gotta do is engage your slide. That'll pop out. Your slide should come to where it stops, and then you slide it. It'll come out so far that it stops. It won't come back out any further, and then you drop it down and pull the rest of the way out. Okay, that's it for your upper unless you're changing the handrails. If you're changing the handrails right here, you're going to have to grab a hold of this and press it like this, hard surface or something, and press it down, and then these will come off the top. This is the top piece, and bottom piece will come off. I thought it was side and side. It's top and bottom. But that's how it comes apart up on the top piece. Now you're done with the upper. Now you're going to go to your bolt carrier and shit. That's your bolt carrier, but alright, now for something you're going to need like a little, little pointy object or something. There's a pinhole right here. You'll see that little hole. Okay? It's just like a little key pin or whatever. You pop it straight out. Okay? It's a little, oopsies. Little pin like this. Okay, you're going to want to set that aside because then you're going to want to take this. You'll want to take this, and you'll see that silver thing in there. That's your firing pin. Set that off to the side as well. Okay. Next thing is you want to remove your firing pin before you go trying to remove this because it won't come out if the firing pin's in. Okay. See this? You want to press it in to its all the way setting. Then you're going to turn it to where it's long ways, facing or sideways, side to side. Okay, and then you'll pull it right out. It'll slip. It should slip right out. Okay, then you can grab this and pull it straight out. Okay, for the next part, you can just use your firing pin. And there's this little thing here. You can see it looks like a door, and then there's a pin in the side. Press down on that little door using the tip of your firing pin to press out that pin. Okay, it should come out pretty simply. And then here you got your cartridge ejector. This thing, there's got a little neck on it. And it hooks onto the spent case and rips it out. It pulls it out and ejects it. Okay? And on some of them you'll have a little spring right there. On this one you just got a rubber rubber almost like a rubber washer, rubber seal, and that's what makes it clip instead of a spring. You can replace them, no problem. I'm just going to leave mine on there in case, you know, whatever. But now to reassemble this, okay? Take all these little pieces, put them back. It's just reversing the steps. Putting that back in place, making sure those holes are aligned, and it looks like it might give me a little bit of resistance, but shouldn't be that hard. Just pretty much push it the rest of the way in there. Alright, you're going to want to make sure it's flush on both sides so that it's not, you know, it might cause problems. Then on this little thing right here, this silver thing, you're going to see 3 holes, 3 of them. You want to make sure none of those holes are lined up. That's what they'll tell you in the military. I don't know why, never really thought about it, but just make sure they're pretty well spaced. See, they're pretty well spaced there. Okay, now you can see this right here. It's got a hole that goes all the way through. And on this hole, you can see that there's a groove right there. It's almost like I can't really get it. You can kind of see it right now. But on the other one, on the other hole, there's no groove. You're going to want that groove to be facing in this hole over here. This is the side that you're going to put the pin in. The part without the groove is the part where you're going to be putting the pin in. You can't put the pin in the other side. It just won't fit. Okay, just kind of pop it through there. Okay. It'll line up just right for it. It just won't fit. If it has that groove in it, it just won't fit. It's not like it's going to go in. Okay, you're just going to want to put this in first, and then you're going to want to put in the firing pin. Okay, you can go ahead and take your firing pin. Okay, you're going to want to put your hands over both these holes. Drop it point in first. Route it around until you hear it drop down in there. Okay, once it drops, you're going to take that pin that you took out of there and just stick it back in that hole. If you feel a little bit of resistance, just twist it around a little bit and it should slide right in, push it in all the way. Okay, and then you're going to take that and lay it there with that, and that with that, obviously. Okay, now what I'm going to go ahead and do, before I go putting up the upper receiver, I'm going to go ahead and just slide this right down in here. You just slide it, push down in until it clicks. Once you hear that click, it'll be... Okay. Anyway, leave these bolts to the outward extended motion thing. Okay, you can go ahead and just put this back in right now. All you're going to have to do, it's going to be a little tricky. There's grooves right here on the side. There's these 2 little bumps that come off the metal. You can see them right up here. Okay, you're going to want to stick it in through this big hole over here. In through the big hole until it gets past those grooves where you can't see them from this crack right here where my pinky is. Okay, then you're going to try to find its groove. Just work with it a little bit. You'll be able to find it. It won't be that hard. It takes a little bit of concentration sometimes. Sometimes you can just get it like that. You want to pull this out about that far. Okay? And then that little thing right there, you're going to want to make sure it's sticking out like that. See how it's sticking out? You want to go ahead and stick it in with this. This thing up here on the top is going to have to go into the bolt carrier slot. There's a slot in the bolt carrier, and it has to fit right up in there. You push until you hear it click. Take the upper and the lower. Put the first hole, the 2 holes right there together. That bolt will slide right through. Go ahead and press them ones. Press that bolt. Bingo. That's how you disassemble your AR-15. KP Hunter out. Thanks for watching.